My name is Graceffo. I'm the author of The Monk from Brooklyn and the host of the web TV show Martial Arts Odyssey. But today we're in my English class. We're going to learn about ALG picture stories. ALG is automatic language growth, and this is a method where students learn by listening. And in this case, I'm going to do comprehension check and speaking exercise by letting them retell the story. So first I draw the story up on the board. You'll see there's some beautiful pictures here. And then I tell the story. And then I invite the students to come up and tell it again in their own words. And each student can do it however he wants, whatever level of vocabulary or speaking that he has. It's not wrong. Just get through the story. And what I put on the board is a few keys, new words that maybe they don't know. Tonight I want them to learn long, long ago when they're telling a story. So I wrote that up here. Invade, maybe they don't know this word. Mongolia, a country that they maybe don't know the name of in English. So this will give them some clues how to go through the story. What's amazing is when we go back to tell the story, the students will look at the pictures and they'll really know what's going on and be able to tell it. So let's get started. Okay, our story today is called Mulan. Alright, so we chose a story that's culturally sensitive. Long, long ago in China. Long, long ago in China, there was a big wall to protect the country. And there were some bad people in a country called Mongolia. And the bad people want to invade. They want to come inside of China. So the soldier standing on the wall, he saw the Mongolians and he used fire. They made a fire here. And this soldier saw the fire, and he made a fire, and the next soldier made a fire, and made a fire, made a fire, made a fire, made a fire. And then, that's how they communicate. And then, one soldier ran very quickly to tell the king that they're being attacked, invaded, attacked. And the king said, go to the city, go to the village, the city, and every house I want one man to become a soldier. And they went to every house, and they took one man to become a soldier, one son. But at one house, there was a very old man. You see how old he is? He has a beard and he's all bent. And he's too old to be a soldier. But he doesn't have a son. So, his daughter cut her hair with a big sword. And she changed her clothes. And she joined the army. Okay, who wants to tell the story?
I am 13 years old. I'm grade 1 junior high school. And I studied English for 7 years. Long, long ago, there was Mongolia. And when the soldiers leave, then he made a fire and the other soldier see.
Another way to use this exercise is it can also transition into a writing exercise. You could have the students sit down and write out the story. So you have them come to the board once and retell it in English. That's your speaking, and then it's also a comprehension check to make sure they understood it. Then you could have them sit down and write it out.
My name is Ben, grade 3 junior high school. I am 15 years. Long, long ago, it's about Mulan's story.
They can look at the board for visual clues to see how to write the story. The other thing that you could do is, depending on the level, in terms of age and in terms of ability, you could have the students sit down and write out their own picture story. So you could have them write pictures if they're too young to write, have them write pictures for another story, for the same story. You can have them write pictures and then write sentences under each picture. I do that quite a lot. We'll make sort of like a comic book. The students will sort of copy the pictures that are on the board, make little frames, put them in the frames on the page, and then write one sentence per frame.
My name is Iris. I am 12 years old. I am grade 6. I read English for 5 years. The king now, the Mongolia want to take his king.
So it would be like long, long ago, and maybe there's a picture of China or something like that, and there was a girl, blah, 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 and they'll tell the story. Another thing you do at advanced students would be what happened next, or you could say what happened before this, and then you want to be using verb tenses. Most of the children will know the Mulan story. I picked it because it's culturally sensitive and they know it from the Disney movie. And so if I tell them what happened next, a lot of children will start to tell me the actual story from Disney, which is absolutely fine. And most of them probably never seen it in English anyway.
My name is May. I am 12 years old. I am in grade 6. I have been studying English for 7 years. Want to invade them.
Only seen it in Chinese. And if they've never seen Mulan, I said, that's fine. Just make up a story. Just start from that point. This girl cuts her hair. She goes off to the army. What happens next? So you can transition into writing. You could transition into writing. And then from there, follow up again by using speaking and using picture story. They could write a full page story, let's say. Then challenge them to each come to the board, draw out the next set of pictures, and tell the next part of the story, and then call the other children up to tell the next part of the story using the pictures drawn by the first student. So, for example, Ben could come to the board, he could draw 5 more pictures, tell his version of the next part of the story, and then call May to the board, and she can point at Ben's 5 pictures and retell Ben's story. And it's particularly interesting if it differs from what May has written on her paper, because then you're saying, no, I'm not asking you to tell your story, I'm asking you to retell Ben's story. And then next would be May's turn, and she would tell her story and draw her pictures the way she likes them, and then invite the other children to come and retell her story. So there's endless possibilities with this picture story idea. The big thing, though, you have to not be afraid to use the native tongue in the classroom. With low-level students, I let them retell the story in Chinese. Higher-level students, I have them retell it in English. And the big thing is just let them tell it however it comes, whatever words they have, whatever grammar. Let them do it their own way at their level. And you'll see that children, even 4 or 5 children in the same class, they'll retell the story at varying levels of ability. What I like about this exercise is that it's real conversation, real speaking, because the students didn't memorize the story, they weren't reading the story, and as you see, they all did it differently. They did it at their level, and however they felt comfortable doing it, and obviously I prefer that they use a new vocabulary, some of them didn't, but the point is giving them the confidence and the opportunity to just speak freely and not memorize the story. I'm Antonio Graceffo from Tainan, Taiwan.